Heartbreak is one of those painful universal experiences that no one is exempt from. It's a feeling of deep loss and sorrow that grips the soul and leaves you questioning your worth. For men, this pain is often compounded by societal expectations of stoicism and strength. But the reality is that heartbreak affects everyone, regardless of their exterior. But what if we told you that this emotional devastation could serve as a stepping stone rather than a setback? What if the very pain you're experiencing could become the fuel you need to transform yourself? The power of heartbreak is often misunderstood. Rather than letting it destroy you, it can be a source of motivation to push you toward greater accomplishments. This is not just about recovering from emotional wounds, it's about using the pain as a catalyst for becoming the best version of yourself. This journey from heartbreak to personal triumph isn't easy, but it's one that will ultimately define your growth, resilience, and capacity for greatness. Every man, regardless of background or origin, travels a similar path, especially when it comes to the emotional milestones we face. As boys, many of us grow up feeling somewhat insignificant. We go through our early years looking for validation, often from external sources. For many men, one of the first major blows to their self-esteem comes in the form of a broken heart. Whether it's the girl you fell for in high school who ended up dating someone else, or the woman you loved who eventually left you, heartbreak is an early and often recurring event that shapes a man's emotional landscape. These formative experiences of rejection or loss teach harsh but valuable lessons. Some men, after experiencing the pain of heartbreak, resign themselves to a life of mediocrity. They settle for whatever relationships come their way, fearing that to try again might lead to the same emotional devastation. They cling to people not because of deep love or connection, but because of a fear of being alone or rejected. This mindset leads to stagnation, where personal growth halts and the man remains emotionally tethered to his past. But for others, heartbreak is the fuel that ignites their personal revolution. Instead of succumbing to the pain, these men channel their suffering into motivation. They decide to become someone better, someone stronger, someone who cannot be easily replaced. This is where the masculine journey diverges. Will you allow the heartbreak to break you, or will you use it as a stepping stone towards your own greatness? Heartbreak is a shared experience, but the way men deal with it varies widely. Many waste their energy on distractions, trying to numb the pain with short-term pleasures or escapism. They might drown their sorrows in temporary relationships, or worse, spiral into unhealthy habits. But the energy produced by heartbreak is immense, and if directed properly, it can become the very force that drives you to achieve things you never thought possible. For some men, heartbreak serves as a critical turning point. It forces them to reassess who they are, what they want, and what they're willing to do to get it. It pushes them to level up. Instead of viewing the loss as a reflection of their inadequacy, they take it as a challenge to improve themselves. They transform their heartbreak into fuel for personal growth, using that pain to drive their ambitions, whether in business, fitness, or personal development. This is a fundamental truth. Energy cannot be destroyed, only converted. The same energy that could be wasted on chasing after someone who left you can instead be used to build a better future. You just have to decide where to direct it. When you're heartbroken, every moment is consumed by thoughts of the person you've lost. But what if you took that energy and funneled it into something productive? Instead of sending dozens of futile text messages or wallowing in self-pity, what if you used that time and energy to improve yourself? This is the key difference between those who let heartbreak define them and those who use it as a catalyst for success. Some of the most successful men in history have used their emotional pain as a springboard for greatness. Whether it's in their careers, physical fitness, or personal development, they channeled the raw energy of heartbreak into something constructive. Heartbreak can become a source of incredible motivation if you allow it to be. But to do this, you must first accept the pain and understand that it's a necessary part of growth. In my own life, heartbreak has been one of the greatest motivators. When I was in my 20s, I experienced a devastating breakup. The pain was unbearable, and it felt as if my world was collapsing around me. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and everything reminded me of her. But instead of letting that pain consume me, I made a decision. I chose to channel that energy into something positive. I began waking up earlier, hitting the gym harder, and focusing on my personal goals. The gym became my sanctuary, a place where I could physically transform myself and, in doing so, gain control over my emotions. Every weight I lifted, every mile I ran, was a step toward becoming a stronger, more resilient version of myself. Heartbreak, in many ways, is a message from the universe. It's a reminder that you're not yet the person you need to be. If someone leaves you, it's because on some level, you weren't enough. Not yet. And while that may sound harsh, it's the truth. The universe or God or fate, whatever you believe in, gives you these moments of pain as a wake-up call. It's telling you that you need to evolve, to grow, to become the kind of person who cannot be so easily discarded. If you don't heed this message, if you continue to live your life in the same way, the cycle will repeat. The next person you fall in love with will also leave, and you'll find yourself in the same emotional turmoil. The only way to break this cycle is to take the lessons from your heartbreak and use them to improve yourself. Heartbreak isn't just about losing someone, it's about losing the illusion of who you thought you were. It's a moment of clarity where you can either accept your weaknesses or decide to overcome them. It's a divine message, urging you to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. Every man faces this choice. Will you allow your heartbreak to define you, or will you use it to fuel your transformation? For me, the decision was clear. I wasn't going to let one relationship dictate the rest of my life. I took all that energy, all that emotional turmoil, and redirected it toward my personal goals. Heartbreak, in many ways, is a blessing in disguise. It forces you to confront your limitations and decide whether you'll let them hold you back or push you forward. It's a painful process, but one that's necessary for growth. Without heartbreak, many men would never reach their full potential. They would remain complacent, never striving for more, never pushing themselves to become the best version of who they could be. In the end, heartbreak is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. It's an opportunity to reassess your life, your goals, and your priorities. The pain you feel is a reminder that there is still room for growth, still potential to be unlocked. Use that pain as fuel to propel yourself forward. Don't let it consume you. Instead, let it motivate you to become the person you were always meant to be. True success isn't about getting revenge or proving someone wrong. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, the version that doesn't need validation from anyone else. Heartbreak is a stepping stone, not a stumbling block, and the choice to rise above it is entirely yours.